Hello, everybody. Welcome, welcome. I want to give just a minute or two. A lot of people are starting to come in. So exciting to see all of you. Hi, Anne. Hi, Beth. Hi, Bria. Hi, Christine. Oh, so many women I know and a lot of new people. Hi, Mel. Hi, Elisa. So good to see you guys. Hi, Lissa. Mondi. Hi. Hi, Vicky. Oh, so glad you guys are here. Hey, Amelia. So glad you guys are here. Some more people are piling in. So I'm going to just give it another second or two. Hi, Mary. Hi, Heather. Jacqueline. Michelle. Maura. Oh, it's so good to see you guys. I'm going to start in about 30 seconds. Just want to give more people a chance to get in. You know, some people are also not using Zoom, but calling in with your phone. I don't think I can see your names, but hi, I'm glad that you guys are here too. Sarah from my team is here also. If you have any tech issues, just let her know. All right. Well, we're 3 minutes after the hour and I want to get started. So we'll get started and we'll just hope we'll welcome in more people as they come in. So again, just welcome everybody. I am so happy that you're here for this workshop. I've prepared some really important content for you and I've got a lot to share today. I'm going to be covering 5 highly effective and results-driven ways that you can be using your coaching skills to grow your income, to bring in more clients, to expand your visibility, to expand your reputation, and to have more space and more energy in your business, because we all want that too, for our businesses and for ourselves. And let me just say off the bat that this isn't going to be your typical business growth seminar. We're not going to be talking about funnels or ads, Facebook ads or anything like that. We're not going to be talking about any newfangled marketing fads. We're not going to be talking about amped up marketing without substance. What we're going to be exploring and learning about over the next hour and a half is a highly unique yet totally sensible way, really maybe the most sensible, authentic, and in integrity way for you to grow your business, for you to market, and for you to expand your income. Because I don't know about you, but for me personally, I just refuse to market the way most of the coaching and transformational industries are marketing right now. I refuse to be super flashy for no good reason. I refuse to stay on the surface. I refuse to make marketing promises that I just can't keep. I refuse to jump through 101 exhausting funnel hoops that confuse me and that cost way too much money on the back end. I refuse to do marketing that I don't need to do. I refuse to do more and more and more, but instead I want to do better, more effective marketing. And here's the truth. Consumers don't want any of this from you or me either. They're done. They're just really done with the way that practitioners have been marketing lately, and they want something different. They want something more authentic. They want something more trustworthy. I've built my business and for the last nearly 2 decades have supported so many others to build their incredible businesses on something that's really different from the flashy and the surface-oriented and the out of integrity. And I'm going to be sharing with you today exactly how I've done it and exactly how my clients have done it. We're going to go deep into the heart of an alternative kind of marketing and set of business tools that really work powerfully for a particular kind of entrepreneur. For the entrepreneur who's ready to expand their business in better ways for sure, but for the entrepreneur who is heart-centered, who is layered, who is deep, and who's really committed to deeply impacting their clients and their community. So before we jump into all of that, I just want to ask you a question or two right now to get you set and really open to receive everything that we're going to be looking at today, because there are a million of free webinars, free seminars out there. We all know this. We're inundated with ads for them all the time, but you chose to be here today with me in this community. And I feel like you chose to be here for a sacred reason. And so I just want you to take a moment and jot down for yourself, why? Why are you here today? Why are you devoting your precious time to this today? Getting clear on the why is so important. It helps us go deeper into learning. So why are you here? What do you want? And what do you not want anymore in your business and in your work? And take one more moment with that. Why are you here? And then two other questions. Well, just a few other quick questions I want you to think about, because I really want you to get the most out of our time together today. So how are you going to approach the next 90 minutes to really make this count for you, right? So many things we just do on autopilot. We approach them the way we approach other things, and then we don't get what we need. How are you going to approach these next 90 minutes to make them really count for you? Maybe it's about an energy that you're going to bring. What is the energy that you want to bring to this time? Or maybe it's about a belief that's been standing in your way of creating what you want in your business, and you're going to put that aside for these next 90 minutes. Or maybe it's about a new belief that you're going to bring. What's important for you to note as we step into this time together? Okay, good. So let's dive in, and we're going to look at the 5 ways that you can grow your business through powerful coaching tools, which I'm just going to say, I'm going to actually be sharing way more than 5 ways. I'm going to be sharing probably a dozen today, hopefully, if we have the time. And, you know, the other thing I just want to say is, obviously, the coaching tools that I'm going to be teaching first and foremost are for coaching with your clients and with your groups. But most people don't realize that they're also the exact tools that are needed for more effective marketing and for better business growth. So we're going to be looking at these coaching tools in new ways. I'm going to be sharing information on each, and I'm also going to be giving you action steps and assignments on each. And as we do all of this, I'll also be sharing with you more about the Sacred Depths coaching certification, because it fully covers all of the details and all of the nuances and the tricks, and trains you fully on all of the principles that I'm going to be introducing to you today. And I also know a lot of people on the call today are strongly considering stepping into the training. So you'll get more info on that for sure. But we're going to go deep today. Get ready to take a lot of notes. I have a lot to share. So here's the first kind of principle that's really important, and I want you to write this down. When you master foundational coaching skills, you can create offerings, marketing, messaging, and sales conversations that hook in directly to your ideal client's mind, heart, and soul. I'm going to say that again, and then I'm going to break it down, give you a lot of examples and how-tos. When you master foundational coaching skills, you can create offerings, marketing, messaging, and sales conversations that hook in directly to your ideal client's mind, heart, and soul. So when you possess extraordinary foundational coaching skills, the kind of coaching skills that only masterful practitioners possess, you're able to activate those skills in order to make every aspect of your business and marketing more poised to attract clients. So let me break this down a little bit and show you how. So I want to look at, first take a look at listening skills, right? Which is obviously a bedrock coaching skills. Listening skills are one of the most fundamental and foundational of all the coaching skills. When you have extraordinary listening skills, you can hear 3 layers underneath the surface of what your ideal client or prospect is saying in order to understand their deepest desires and the ways they think about the world. Then you're able to hear their values, their thought processes, their self-talk. You want to be able to hear your ideal prospects, the ways that they lie to themselves, because we all lie to ourselves. And you also want to hear the ways that they hide. When you're able to hear all of this, when you're able to use your listening skills and hear all of this, and then integrate this knowledge and this information into your offers and into your messaging and into your marketing, then all of a sudden your prospects and community are way more engaged with you and your work. So let me give you some examples, and these will be really helpful for you. So for example, in your sales calls and in your enrollment conversations, your deep listening skills are there to help you to quickly and efficiently assess exactly what it is that your prospect really desires and exactly what it is that your prospect really values. Your listening skills are there to help you really hear what your prospect's priorities are, what they're thinking. And when you can pick up all of this through your listening, then you become 20 times more positioned to help your prospects feel seen and heard by you. And when someone feels seen and heard by you, they're way more ready to buy from you. And when you listen deeply and pick up this knowledge about your prospect, you also become 20 times more able to direct the sales conversation to help your prospect really connect with what they truly desire. And you become way more able to direct the conversation for them to be able to connect to all the excuses that they've been giving themselves to not go after what they desire. And when you do this, then you're already better positioned to make the sale. So take a moment, think about this for yourself for a second. How well are you listening in your sales conversations, in your enrollment conversations, to the deepest layers so that you can use that information in the enrollment conversation to help your client feel seen and heard, and also to help them really see what they need to see? Let me give you another example of where you can use your stellar listening skills in your marketing. So when you possess deep listening skills and you're able to hear underneath the surface of what your ideal client or prospect is saying in order to understand their deepest desires, and again, in order to hear the ways that they think about the world, to hear their values, what they value, to hear their thought processes, their self-talk, all of that. And then you can use all of this information and knowledge in your sales pages, in your social media posts, in your articles, in the presentations that you put together, and even into how you're structuring your offers. So let me give you some examples. For example, let's say that because of your deep listening, you know that your particular ideal client oftentimes feels isolated from community. Yet you also know that your ideal client is the type of person who really thrives in community. So when you can strategically mention this in your copy, or if you can make community a big component in your offerings, then your prospect feels like, oh my gosh, this person is speaking directly to me. This person gets me. Or here's another example. Let's say that you know that your ideal client values intelligence and takes pride in being intelligent. I know this is something that my ideal client values and prides. Not everybody does, by the way. If you're on this call, you probably do. So let's say that you know for you that your ideal client values intelligence and takes pride in their intelligence. You want to then bake it into your copy. You want to take that information that you've heard and bake it into your copy, bake it into your presentations, acknowledge it when you're for your prospect, when you're on a sales call. When your ideal client reads this or hears this, they automatically then feel more connected to you and to your work. They feel that you get them, that you understand them. And when they feel all of this, then they're much more likely to feel that you are the expert for them, that you are the guide for them. The other benefit to listening deeply and to getting this precise in your marketing, right? The deep listening, hopefully what you're starting to see allows you to get precise in your marketing. So the other benefit to listening this deeply and to getting this precise in your marketing, in your messaging, is that you don't end up with prospects or people in your programs who are just not a good fit for you and your work. If this has ever happened to you, you know how draining and frustrating and annoying this can be. When I teach my clients how to listen deeply and then integrate that deep listening into their sales calls and into their marketing, they report that they attract in a higher level of true and aligned matches for their work. And the people that they attract in are already feeling so excited because of what they've already read and experienced, because of that precision in the marketing and in the sales conversations that can only come from your deep listening. Okay, so if you want to start being able to use and leverage your listening skills and integrate all of that precise and solid gold information about your ideal clients into your offers, into your sales calls, into your marketing, you can do a couple of things. So here are some action steps to start to think about. If you're already working with clients, I want to encourage you to listen even more deeply during your coaching sessions and make notes that you can use in your marketing. So much gold will come from that. Or if you're not already working with clients, or even if you are, this is another great practice. I want to invite you to interview somebody or a couple of people who fit your ideal client category. Interview them for at least 30 minutes, 30, 40, 60 minutes, and really use your listening skills to listen 3 layers below the surface. Take notes. You will get so much precise information that you can integrate in all of these ways that we've been talking about. But now here's the trick. When you do all of this, you don't want to just listen well. You want to listen masterfully in order for this to really work. In Sacred Depths, I teach 3 full classes on deep listening because most people can't and don't know how to listen this deeply. They may be able to hear 1 or 2 layers in, which is great, but they're not really able to go deeper than that. Listening deeply means hearing the true meaning behind the words that people share. And I want you to write these down. These are important. Listening deeply means accurately reading verbal and nonverbal cues so that you can avoid misunderstanding things and frustration. Listening deeply means, as I said earlier, detecting what's not being said, because usually what's not being said is just as important, or sometimes even more important, than what is being said. Listening deeply means detecting when others are lying to themselves or you, because that's going to give you a ton of information about their thought processes, about their fears, about how they think, about how they approach the world. Listening deeply, this is something we go into very deeply in Sacred Depths, also means checking your own listening filters, your own assumptions, and your own biases. We all have filters, assumptions, and biases. This is not about eradicating them. We can't eradicate them, but we need to be able to check them when we're working with clients, when we're listening for marketing, when we're with our prospects. If you don't know how to check your own listening filters, then you're not going to hear what's really being said. You're going to hear your own stories. And that's a big mistake a lot of people end up making in marketing. I see it a lot. They market and they write and they speak to prospects from their own filters. Now, our own filters can help us 100% in our marketing, in our coaching work, but if they're not checked, you're not going to be able to hear what needs to be heard. So you have to also, also means being willing to listen, right? And then the other thing that listening deeply means is knowing how to master the dance of listening to the prospect while also listening to your intuition. When you can get both, then and bake all of that into your marketing, it becomes unstoppable. All right, so listening deeply is the first step, but we're going to go further. The next foundational coaching skill that I want you to think about that can really strengthen your marketing copy, your presentations, and your sales calls are your creating awareness skills. You're creating awareness skills. Because the information that you're going to receive from your deep listening is really only as good as your ability to effectively and powerfully reflect it back to your prospect or to your reader. You need to know how to create awareness in your marketing, in your prospect conversations with the information that you have. Now, this sounds simple, but a lot of skill actually goes into creating awareness. When you can effectively and powerfully create awareness in your marketing and in your sales conversations, your prospects open up deep and wide to want to hear more of what you have to say. They quickly see how vital and how potentially life-changing your work is. But one of the biggest pitfalls that I see a lot of entrepreneurs fall into when they market or when they speak to prospects is that they don't really know how to courageously, effectively, and boldly create awareness around hard truths. I want you to star, circle, underline that. Create awareness around hard truths in your marketing. So let me give you some examples of this. For example, let's say you've listened deeply on a sales call to a prospect, and you can hear that this person just really doesn't love their partner anymore. They haven't outright said it because the prospect actually hasn't fully realized it for themselves. But because you're so skilled at listening, you hear this, you get it, you see it. And your prospect actually needs to hear it too. Your prospect needs to hear it for their own personal growth. And they also need to hear it because it's going to help them see you as someone who really gets them, as someone who can be really loving and honest with them, and as someone who can help them see themselves more deeply. All fine and good, right? However, and this is a massive however, how do you create awareness for this prospect around their partner without offending them, right? Because remember, they haven't seen it for themselves yet. How do you do this without scaring your prospect, without sounding presumptuous? How do you create awareness for this prospect in a way that helps her feel seen and helps her feel that she has the resilience to face this hard truth that she doesn't love her partner anymore? How do you create this awareness in a way where she doesn't feel judged by you? most practitioners wouldn't even be able to hear what's going on, let alone create awareness around it. And if they actually did hear it, many practitioners would just skip over it in the sales call, or maybe even worse, make a big faux pas in how they bring it up and offend the client or scare the prospect away. And then that's it. The enrollment conversation is sabotaged. It's over right then and there. Or here's another example of creating awareness in your marketing. When you're writing copy for your sales page, let's say, because of your deep listening work, let's say that you know your ideal readers need to hear that continuing to put all their energy towards their children is hurtful, not only to their own dreams and desires, but to their children's development as well. You know that they need to hear this. But how do you create awareness around this hard truth for your readers so that they don't think you're heartless, or so that they don't they think that you don't understand or share the depth of their devotion to their children? How do you create awareness in a way that they will actually hear you and have a breakthrough around this and take in deeply what you have to say? Or how, in your marketing, do you honor the inevitable losses that come up in your typical ideal client's life so that your prospects see that you're a practitioner of depth and not just a love and lighter, right? And I can go on about this one. And those of you that follow me, you've read a bit about this, I've written about this. When we're only positive, when we kind of erase the hard things that happen in our client work and also in our marketing, we lose trust. People don't trust us as much. But you don't want to just name the hard things. You want to know how to honor those inevitable losses, so that your prospects can really see that your depth and that you're going to help them hold this if they work with you. How do you fiercely yet with heart take a stand for that out of the box and maybe even controversial ideals and ideas that are going to activate your prospects' hearts and move them towards taking the next steps with you? So this is a big marketing philosophy that I have used, and this is one of the successes of my business. I'm controversial. I speak the hard truths. I speak out against the industry. I'm willing to share the out-of-the-box ideas, the things that are going to maybe make people feel a little uncomfortable and push them to their edge. So make a note on that. You want to create a revolution in your marketing, and you don't create revolutions by sharing what's, the status quo. People will pay attention to you if you share what's out of the box. If you're an expert, you've got out of the box ideas, things that are going to create some tension. But again, here's the trick. When you create awareness about these pieces in your marketing, you want to deliver that awareness in a way that's not going to scare people away, in a way that's bold, but at the same time in a way that shows that you get it, that you understand that it's hard, that you're not going to just run over it, right? But that you hold it with sacredness. So you accomplish all of this with masterful creating awareness skills. And when you create awareness, you want to be able to do a couple of things. Number one, you want to know exactly how to illuminate the unseen for your readers, for your community, for your prospects, how to illuminate the unseen so that anyone who comes in contact with your marketing or you will see that you're deep and perceptive and brilliant right away. And they'll also see you as a thought leader in your field because you're illuminating the unseen. When you create awareness, you want to be able to know how to work with your prospects' blind spots to help them see what they need to see so that they can be motivated and buy from you. You want to know how to powerfully and lovingly reflect the truth so that prospects and readers crack open and then they become loyal followers of your revolution, of your mission. You want to know how to honor, I call it in Sacred Depths, we call this honoring what is. Essentially, excuse my language, honoring the shit, right? You want to know how in your marketing to name and honor the shit. To honor what is, so that your prospects feel seen and heard, so they don't just feel love and lighted. You want to know how to acknowledge your prospects for their strengths in ways that feel authentic and not overwhelming. And this is an interesting one, and I'll just, just quick note on this. Part of creating awareness is helping not only your clients, but your prospects, your community, create awareness around what they're amazing at and what their resources are and the skills that they already have. You want to do this in your marketing. Make a note of that. But here's the thing. Most people, unfortunately, don't believe in their greatness. It's hard for them to take in and receive their brilliances and the resources that they have. And so in your marketing, you want to be able to not only celebrate what they already have, but to do it in a way that they'll actually be able to receive it and not just shrug you off again as like too positive, love and lighter. That's not for me. I'm not that kind of person, right? And then another way of creating awareness in your marketing is to know how to use personal anecdote and stories to help your prospects, your readers, your viewers feel more connected to you. So personal anecdote and story are part of creating awareness. And this is a real biggie, right? For those of you that have been around the block many times marketing, you know this. I use personal anecdote all the time, and it can be a game changer. But again, you want to use your creating awareness skills, all the things I've just been talking about in the personal anecdote in order to make it really powerful. Participants in Sacred Depths learn how to leverage all these creating awareness techniques in super effective ways so that they become known as truth tellers in their industry when they use these techniques. Their marketing sticks out and gets known in a sea of other marketing, all the other marketing out there, because of the truths that they reflect and the awarenesses that they create. They get invited to speak at conferences and to guest blog and be guest teachers because of all of this. They're remembered at networking events. Their social media following increases and their marketing becomes so much more precise. So let's talk about some actions on this one. If you want to start using creating awareness skills to up-level your marketing right away, then the first little step, which is not so little, is to pick, I want you to think about a hard truth or a compelling truth about your ideal client that they are maybe not aware of. So pick a hard truth or a compelling truth about your ideal client that they're maybe not aware of, that you want to create awareness around. And I want you to start working it into your marketing. You can write an article on it, a social media post, work it into a sales page, whatever it is, but work it in and work it in a way that's empowering for the reader, for the listener, in a way that will really land deeply and activate the reader. Use those creating awareness skills. Now, in order to do this, there are, as we've been talking about, very specific creating awareness techniques that you want to use, but there's also an inner work element to this. In order to reflect hard truths and create these awarenesses, you, the marketer, the entrepreneur, the coach, the practitioner, need to have the courage, right? We need to have the courage to speak these hard truths and to show up in these ways for our communities and in our marketing. So let's just toe dip into this for just a quick moment now. There's a lot to be said and looked at, but I just want to toe dip in it. I want you to consider this question and just journal on it for half a minute. What are you scared might happen if you spoke fully and passionately about some hard truths for your clients or in your industry? What are you scared might happen if you spoke fully and passionately about some hard truths for your ideal client or about your industry? Just take a moment with that one. I know I'm moving very quickly here today. I want to give you as much as I can in these 90 minutes. We still have so much more. And I'm going to break for questions in about another 5 minutes too, because I know a lot is coming up. So the next skill that I want you to start thinking about using in your marketing is what I call breakthrough questioning skills. Breakthrough questioning skills. Questioning skills aren't just for client coaching sessions. Of course, we use questioning a lot in our coaching sessions, but they're not just for our coaching sessions. They are for our marketing as well. Now, I'm not going to go too much in depth on this one just because of time, but I do want to just touch on a couple of quick points. So, number one, breakthrough questioning skills are make or break in your sales conversations. I want you to start to level up the quality of the questions that you ask when you're on sales calls, because here's why. There's a couple of really important components in sales calls. Two of the most important components that you absolutely need to have to do for a successful sale is to activate vision and activate gap for your prospect. What does that mean? So real briefly, what it means is that on a sales call, on an enrollment conversation, you want to ask questions so that your prospect gets really connected to what they really, really, really want for themselves. They need that in order to be motivated to buy. And you also want to ask really, really, really good questions in order to help your prospect get really connected to what they don't want for themselves anymore. That's their gap. It may sound like a little bit like you're torturing your prospect to ask questions that will help them get really connected to what they don't want, to the gap. Again, we want to do this we want to also add the creating awareness skills here so that they don't end up feeling bad about themselves, but so that they can see the hard truths. Because if they don't see and honor the hard truths, they're not going to be motivated to change. Okay, so you want to use questioning skills and better questions in your enrollment conversations, in your sales calls. The next thing I want you to think about is this. Breakthrough questioning skills are make or break in your preview workshops. So what are preview workshops? Well, real brief, they're preview presentations. Presentations, they may be in person, they may be online. They're usually free or low cost ways for people that can easy to step in and connect more deeply with you and with your content and with your work so that they're more poised to want to talk to you about working with you. If you are a soul-centered practitioner, and I know that if you're on this call, you are, the people that are attracted to me generally are people that do really well with preview presentations. It's because your energy is so magnanimous. It's because you're so authentic. It's because people really connect with you when they hear you. So if you're not already using preview workshops, preview presentations in your marketing, I want you to consider doing it. It's a vital and powerful way for bringing in new clients. And in those workshops, a big mistake that people often make is that they don't integrate breakthrough questions into the workshops. So you want to integrate breakthrough questions into your preview workshops in order to activate gap and vision, like I was talking about before with sales conversations, and in order to create those breakthroughs. Now, there's a science to formulating breakthrough questions, and there's also an art to it. They kind of dance together. And when you get the science and the art, it really helps prospects connect deep, deep, deep to what they're done with, as well as what they deeply desire. And like I said earlier, this is vital for sales. So you want to understand the 16 different question types and when to use which one. You want to understand when it's best to use a yes or no question versus when it's best to use an open-ended question. You need to know how to not be attached to a particular answer or outcome. As soon as you get attached to a prospect's answer or outcome, you're out of the game. And you want to know the 4 components that every powerful question contains. We look at all of this in Sacred Depths and so much more. We spend a full month on questioning skills because they're so important, not just in order to get better results with clients, to co-create transformation with clients, but for your marketing. So here are some action steps that you can take around your questioning skills. Number 1, I want you to start paying attention to how you ask questions in your enrollment conversations, particularly around gap and vision. And not only pay attention during your sales conversations, but after each one, make some notes on how you could have asked better questions. Number 2, if networking events are one of your marketing avenues, I want you to play around with asking breakthrough questions when you casually speak to people. Obviously not in a markety way as part of the conversations, but I want you to start asking really thoughtful questions to the new people that you meet and network with. They will feel so much more connected with you and want to stay in touch, become clients, connect you to other people, whatever it is. They will see you as someone thoughtful and deep and smart. And then here's a bold action you can think about taking. What about doing a Facebook Live where you create awarenesses like we were talking about earlier and ask some deep questions? Give your prospects, your community, a transformational and breakthrough experience. Just play around with that. All right, there's one more foundational coaching skill, and then we still have 4 more principles that I want to look at. There's one more foundational coaching skill that I want to talk to you about that I want you to start using in your marketing and to grow your business. And this is your strategizing skills. Using and employing strategizing skills in your sales calls, in your sales pages, in your materials, in your articles, all of that is vital, 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 vital for bringing on clients. However, a lot of entrepreneurs don't use this in their marketing, and it's a big fail. So when you have stellar strategizing skills and you integrate them into your sales pages, your articles, your social media, all of that, then here's what happens. You can effectively paint a picture for your prospect on how to get from point A to point B. So here's what I mean by that. We've spoken about gap and vision already and how to activate that for clients. When you can activate a client's gap, which is where they are now in your marketing, whatever the marketing is. And then if you can activate your client's vision in your marketing, and that's wherever they want to be, that's great. So they can see where they are now and where they want to be. But the next piece, this is so important, you want to strategize and show them how you're going to get them from point A to point B if you work together. If you can paint that picture effectively, then you're more than halfway to the sale. Because they see where they are, they don't want to be there anymore. They see where they want to be, they really want to get there, and you've painted this beautiful picture of how you're going to help them get there. I strategize one-on-one when I'm on sales calls. We always look at the strategy if we were to work together. I integrate it into sales pages. I speak about how I'm going to get people from point A to point B. I do this in social media everywhere. So an action step for you is to start thinking about adding strategy to a sales page or a program guide or to your sales protocol. Now, there's so much to say on strategy, but I just say this briefly right now. And we look at this a lot in Sacred Depths. You're an expert in something, and that's amazing. And when you strategize, you're going to use your knowledge of your expertise to create that strategy, whether it's, with a client you're already working with or on a sales call, wherever it is, marketing, whatever it is. But I want you to realize that there is a difference between your expertise, whatever it is, and strategizing skills. In order to create an effective strategy, the two need to work together. They're related, but they're different. So an example is you can have all the best knowledge in the world about how to help heal someone from hormonal imbalance, let's say. But if you don't understand in Sacred Depths, I teach about this, different natural productivity rhythms, the different ways that different types of people execute on plans, then you're not going to be able to strategize effectively. If you don't understand the different components that any strategy needs, no matter what the expertise is, because they need different components, it's not just the expertise, then the strategy is going to fall flat. Okay, I've already given you so much. We have 4 more principles to look at. I know that was already like 5 principles in one, but let's just take a pause here for a moment for integration, because I've spoken so much already. So far, what are you starting to see for yourself? What's important for you? What are you taking for yourself so far from this call? And what questions do you have for me so far? I think because of the time, I'm going to hold the questions for the end because there's still a lot more I want to get through, but I'll answer all your questions when we're complete. What questions do you have for me so far? Okay, so let's keep on going. Oh, somebody is raising their hand. Hold on a second here. Christine, I'm gonna, like I just said, I'm gonna hold all questions for the end, so I'll get to you soon, I promise. Okay, so we've just spoken about a whole bunch of foundational coaching skills and how to use them in your marketing and how to use them to grow your business and in your offerings. I want to talk about some advanced coaching skills now to use in your marketing, because when you master advanced coaching skills, then you can create marketing, messaging, and sales conversations that help your prospects transcend their fears, transcend their beliefs and objections, all of the things that keep them from buying from you. So your advanced coaching skills can help you take your prospects and have them leap from the fears to buying with you to actually buying with you. It's the advanced coaching skills that really allow you to go even deeper in your marketing and in your messaging and in your sales conversations to really activate your prospects to engage deeply with you. In Sacred Depths, when I teach the advanced techniques, I don't just teach the techniques. You learn layers and layers of different human behaviors and responses when someone is going through growth processes. So it's not just the coaching techniques, But what you really want to use here is your knowledge of human behavior and human response so that you can really become a magician when you apply this to your marketing, your messaging, your sales conversation. So let me just give you a few examples. There's so many, but I just want to give you a few. So one of the skills, one of the next, advanced skills that you want to employ in your marketing is to help your prospects befriend their fear. Write that down. Help your prospects befriend their fear. So fear is one of the number one things that keeps people from buying. And the fear can sound like, I'm scared that I'll invest in this and I'll fail anyway. I'm scared that this isn't going to work for me. I'm scared that I'm going to waste my money. I'm scared that people will hate me if I grow. They may not be conscious of that one, but that's one that's rolling around for them. I'm scared that I'll have to change, even though people want to change. They're scared of change, right? All the things, right? So most marketers either don't address fear at all, or if they do, they simply pretend the fears away or take an attitude of just slaying the fears or belittling the fears. And doing any of this in your marketing and sales, particularly if your ideal client is sensitive or soulful in any way, it just doesn't work. If your ideal client isn't sensitive or soulful, then you can slay the fears, belittle them, whatever. But if your ideal client is someone who is deep, someone who is soulful, you need a different approach, because sensitive and soulful people already know that they need to actually deal with and attend to their fears. And when you can help your prospects and your community and your readers start to befriend their fears through your marketing, through your sales conversations, that's when they become way more willing to consider getting in touch with you or buying from you. And when you can also let people know through your marketing that you're a master at helping them move through their fears, that's when your marketing becomes unstoppable, because then your prospects know that not only are you an expert, not only do you have information to help them achieve what they want to achieve, but you also have the skills to help them finally get a handle on the inner blocks that are standing in their way. And that impact is way bigger and lasts way longer than simply a set of information. So an action step here is I want you to start thinking about how you can directly address fears in your marketing and in your sales conversations. And we don't have time to also talk about rewiring negative thought patterns, but think about negative thought patterns too. So I want you to start thinking about how you can address fears in your marketing, how you can address negative thought patterns in your marketing and in your sales conversations. In the sales process that I teach, which you get a 5-hour training on in Sacred Depths, addressing the fear is baked in, and it's the game changer in the call. It's so important. Okay. I'm going to skip over some of this because I prepared too much. So I want to talk about another advanced coaching skill that you want to use in your marketing, and most people do not use this skill in their marketing. It's what in Sacred Depths we call honoring the mystery. Honoring the mystery. When you, as a practitioner, know how to honor the mystery, then essentially what you're able to do is help your clients, help your prospects see that there are seasons to growth and to creation and to life. In other words, that we're not always on productivity mode. We're not always on go, go, go mode. And we don't always have all of the answers. I'm sure you've seen this out there. There's too much marketing right now that promises to have all the answers, that promises you're going to be uber productive all the time, etc., etc. Not only does that do a huge disservice to the people reading it and hearing it, because it makes them feel awful, because there are things we don't know. We can't be productive all of the time. But it also creates distrust for the person marketing. Or if it doesn't create distrust and somebody buys from you, you're gonna end up with a lot of trouble, because when you start working with them, it's not gonna be productivity all the time, and they're gonna feel like you misled them in your marketing. So you want in your marketing to really integrate in all of the amazing and the productivity and the go and all of that, but you also want to, in order to be trustworthy, in order for people to relate to you, in order for people to see that you understand them, you don't want to overpromise. You want to set realistic, exciting expectations, but realistic expectations in your marketing. That's how you become more trustworthy. Of course, you need to do this in a way that's aspirational, right? So it's not a downer, but you need to work this in. When you don't, you just end up looking like one of those rah-rah practitioners. And again, if your people are soulful and sensitive, they're not going to be into it. Here's a side note. You want to be able to work this into your offerings as well. So what I mean by that is a big mistake I see people make in one-on-one coaching or group programs, whatever it is that they just automatically assume that when someone starts working with them, that they're ready for productivity, that they're ready to go, that they're ready to take action. Part of really mastering, what we call honoring the mystery, is understanding that sometimes when people start with you, they're going to be in spring or summer. They're going to be ready to go and do. But really, a lot of times when people start working with you, they're going to be in an autumn or a winter. They're going to need to be in the mystery for a little bit, and for you to hold that space for them. They're going to need to work through their shadows first, their fears, their negative thought patterns, right? So if you can really work this into your offerings, the offerings will become more attractive, and then the work itself will become more meaningful. I'm going to talk about one more advanced coaching skill, just for right now, that you want to think about in your marketing. And that's in Sacred Depths, we do a lot of work on, I teach participants how you can help your clients move with the rhythm of time. You want to apply this in your marketing. So let me explain why and what I mean by this. Another big block to people buying from you is the block of time. I don't have enough time to do this. This isn't the right time. This is going to take up too much time. Maybe next year. I don't know if I can fit this into my schedule, right? We know all of this. So you want to really consider this and use what you know about helping clients move with the rhythm of time. You want to bake it into your marketing. You want to address this in your marketing. When you do this, then people that are strongly considering working with you, but we're using the time thing as an excuse, they're able to see another way. They're able to see how the time doesn't have to stand in the way. Okay. You know, I am going to pause here for a moment, and I'd love to hear, we still have three more big pieces to move through, but I'd love to hear maybe just from one or two of you what you're taking so far. It's, you can raise your hand if you're on Zoom, or if you're calling in, I believe it's *9. To raise your hands, but I'd just love to hear, what are you seeing so far? What are you taking? What feels important so far? So I know you guys are with me. Anyone want to share? What are you seeing so far? What are you taking? Janet is saying that great insights are coming to you. I'm so happy to hear it. Let's see, Christine. Hey there, Christine.
Hello, can you hear me?
I can. Hi.
Hello. So for me, the huge aha is around the strategizing piece and realizing that's where I'm really lacking. Like, I've got goosebumps at the moment, right? It's the missing piece. Like I have some of these others, but yes, I need to deepen them and get more mastery with them. But it's really the strategizing piece. How do I put it all together and have that strategy in everything I do? That for me would be, that's freedom.
Yeah, I'm so glad you can see this. It's important for your coaching because you want to be strategizing with clients, but it's so important for the sales calls and for the marketing to put it in there. And I know you're going to be with me for Sacred Depths. We're going to spend, we spend a lot of time looking at strategizing and how to do it effectively. So you're going to get all of that.
Perfect. Thank you.
You're welcome. Great to hear your voice. All right, Anne. Hold on here.
So two things are coming to mind. One is I'm recognizing how much of this I already know how to do.
Mm-hmm.
And the two big blocks that I'm seeing that have been coming up is one, not trusting myself in what I already know and thinking that there's something else that if only I knew that would make it comfortable. It's not going to be comfortable. It's going to be scary. Yeah. And that's the same thing that my clients are going to be dealing with too.
Yeah.
And that really my biggest fear that gets in the way is the fear that I can't really trust myself to follow through on it and will end up wasting not only my time and resources, but that somehow I'm going to miss a piece and then I'm going to waste my client's time too.
Yeah.
But so this is all kind of starting to clunk, like, oh, no, I have these pieces. I just have to do it. I haven't been befriending my own fear.
Exactly. Yeah, I'm so happy that you're bringing this up. I'm so glad you can see it. It's just so important for you, for all of us, and it just really speaks to this point of when you're mastering your coaching, when you're mastering your marketing, all of that. It's like there's the skills and the techniques, which are almost the easier parts, right? Yeah. And then there's the inner work. And we're going to actually speak in a little bit about the energetics. So it's perfect segue from what you're saying.
Oh, good.
Thanks for sharing that. Yeah, beautiful. All right, let's keep on going because there is a lot more. So here's the next principle that I want you to speak about. I'm going to speak about this one quickly. There's so much to this one, but I just want you to know it for yourself. And a lot of you that have learned with me before, we've toe dipped into this one. I want you to apply wisdom about the nature of human resistance in order to navigate prospect resistance. I want you to apply wisdom about the nature of human resistance in your marketing in order to navigate your prospects' resistance and move them beyond that. So I'll just say a couple of things on this one for right now. It's such an important and rich topic. Number one, resistance is part of human nature, period. If you are marketing, if you are working to grow your business and you are not expecting resistance, then you're gonna have a lot of misses in your marketing. It's a part of resistance. There are so many entrepreneurs and practitioners, though, that in their marketing and in their work with clients too, they get scared of the client resistance or the prospect resistance. So here's one important piece. Don't be scared if resistance comes up in the sales process. Plan for it, address it, speak to it, and don't be scared of it if it comes up. Because here's the thing, resistance is not about the person, not like the prospect, not liking you or not being interested in your work or not wanting to engage. Resistance is a form of fear. Resistance is a form, it's a symptom, really, of fear. And anytime an individual is about to undergo a big change or transformation, i.e., through thinking about working with you, there's gonna be some fear that comes up. And if fear comes up, resistance is gonna come up. So again, I want you 100% to plan for it to come up in your sales calls so that you don't get thrown off when it does. And I want you to plan for it when people are considering working with you, when they're reading your information, when they're watching your Facebook Lives, whatever it is. So again, there's so much to say on this. I'm not going to get into all of the details right now, but just for action step, I want you to start to consider and think about the different resistance archetypes. I've kind of developed a list from just what I've seen over the years of different energy types that come up when a prospect or a client or a community member is in resistance. So I'll just quickly go through them and give you a little bit to think about for each. So in your marketing, I want you to consider the victim. The victim is the one that is helpless and often sounds like, oh, but it's so hard and nothing ever works for me and I just can't get it done and I've tried it so many times and nothing ever works, right? How are you going to handle that one in your marketing and your sales calls? How are you going to handle the judge? That's another resistance archetype to consider. So the judge often sounds like, this is not sophisticated enough for me, or does this person that is selling this thing have enough experience, or is this gonna be good enough, right? So how are you gonna handle that kind of resistance? Another kind of resistance archetype to think about is what I call the know-it-all, related to the judge. The know-it-all in their head or out loud says, I've already done this. I've already read about this. I already know about this. What more am I going to learn here? How are you handling that in your marketing? The flake, another resistance archetype. This one will show up mostly in sales calls and enrollment processes. That's the one who maybe doesn't show up for the call, right? You have a time scheduled and they don't show up. How are you going to handle the flake? And then another one to think about is the needy one. The needy one, and again, this one can show up a lot in sales calls, but also in their head, I need more. Will this person provide enough support? Will they give me enough hand-holding? How much can I email you? All the things. How are you going to handle the needy one? Not just in your client work, but in your marketing. So I just want to share that clients and students that I teach all of this to report that their sales conversions have gone up by 50%. When you have all of the enrollment conversation tools thoroughly that I've just been introducing to you today, you should be able to convert at least 2 out of every 3 prospects that you speak with. My clients and students also share that they have almost no clients who fall off the face of the earth or ask for refunds halfway through the program or the offering. And as you probably know, this is rare now in the coaching and transformational industry. The people that I teach all of this to also receive amazing testimonials from their clients who really appreciate the work that they do together. And I'm bringing up testimonials because this is another important piece that I just want you to be thinking about. In your marketing, how are you using client stories of success? How are you using testimonials? They're not just for the testimonials page on your website. You want to be integrating them deeply into sales conversations, into everything that you do. All right. Let's move on. The next piece I want to talk to, you have heard, if you have been following me at all, you've heard me talk about this one, but I just want to briefly mention it. Another way that your powerful coaching tools can help you grow your business is through renewals and referrals. So in brief, you want to grow your business mostly organically, right? You want to grow it through the people that have experienced you, wanting to experience more of you, telling their friends, telling everybody that they know. Half of the programs that I offer, I never even share with the public because they get filled by ongoing clients. I haven't needed to promote my private coaching practice in almost 6 years now because I always have a waiting list. The programs that I do promote to the public, usually half the spaces get filled by referrals. And so many of my clients tout the same results. I want you to do less push marketing and more organic marketing. And the way that you do more organic marketing is to do deeper work with your clients. It's the difference between great coaching and phenomenal coaching. It's about holding space for deep and long-lasting change. It's about helping your clients understand themselves better than they ever have before. It's about helping your clients befriend their fears and rewire their negative thought patterns and get off the wheel of self-sabotage and leverage their shadows and all the pieces, right? Yes, all the pieces that I teach you how to do in Sacred Depths, but this is important because what happens for too many entrepreneurs is they work so hard to market and maybe they get the client, but then the client falls off either halfway through or it doesn't become an ongoing client or that client doesn't share with their friends. And it's like you've taken all of this action for very little return. I want you to leverage every marketing action that you take. And the way to do that is to deepen your skills, to do the best possible work that you can do so that every person that you bring in, it's not just about that one offer that they buy. There's multiple things that they buy. They tell multiple people. So much more to say on that. But there is one more thing I want to say on that. The other thing, that goes along with all of this that I teach in depth, in Sacred Depths, is you want to have what I call a next steps protocol. So the transformational coaching, the doing the deep work, that you need all of that for your clients to want to continue with you. But you also need an actual process a next steps process to re-enroll them. And it's not just about asking, do you want to continue? you want to create a process so that they can really, you can create awareness on what they've already received, so that you can create awareness on what they want next, so that you can create awareness on what's going to need to change in the next cycle. for them to get what they want, you know, all of the pieces. So if here's an action step, if you don't have a protocol for a next steps process, I want you to start thinking about one. Okay. And then the next piece that I want you to think about is energetics and how you're leveraging energetics for way better marketing and for higher conversions. So again, I'm gonna skim this one, but I think you'll get what you need from it. In Sacred Depths, I teach dozens and dozens of straight up tools and techniques for being able to go deep and transformational with clients, and also the techniques to improve your marketing. But the thing that will improve your marketing and your ability to earn more the most is your energetics, and is how you hold containers. And this is another major focus of Sacred Depths. So what are your energetics? What do I even mean when I say that? Your energetics, and Anne started talking about this earlier, is you. You are your energetics. Your energetics are your attitudes, your own attitudes, your beliefs, how you navigate your own shadows, how well you befriend your own fears. Your energetics are the attitudes with which you approach your marketing, your visibility, your willingness to be bold and push the envelope, your courage. Your energetics are your willingness, like I said, to be bold, your level of anxiety about marketing or about growth or about success or failure. It's all of you. And when your energetics are off, here's what happens in your marketing and your business development. You don't take all of the marketing steps needed to grow your business. We already saw that in some of the shares today. When your energetics are off, you don't make strong and bold calls to action. You sabotage your sales calls. You don't own your brilliance and the importance of your work in your writing or your speaking. You don't take risks to stretch yourself. You mess up your preview workshops. You lower your rates. You don't take a stand for prospects who are in resistance. You get scared that if you're too big or too seen, that people will find you annoying or too overwhelming or get angry at you. You fall into comparison with other practitioners that you see online, and then you go down the rabbit hole of self-judgment. So I want you to just take a moment and assess for yourself, what are some of the ways that your lower level energetics are impacting your business right now? What are some of the ways that they're impacting your business right now? I'm sure there's a bunch, but just jot down a few for now. Okay, so those are the ways, those are some of the things that happen when your energetics are off in your marketing and your business development. I want to share a little bit about what happens when your energetics are off in your client sessions and in the groups that you lead. When your energetics are off, you stop trusting yourself. You stop trusting your clients. We need to trust our clients in order to do our best work with them, not just ourselves, but our clients. You lose your curiosity when your energetics are off in your client sessions. And that's such a important component of deep listening, right? Curiosity. You don't have the courage and trust and faith to ask really bold questions. You want to ask those bold questions. You go into fear mode, and then you can't effectively reflect the truth in your client sessions. When your energetics are off, your clients' shadows start to trigger your own shadows, and then you get into an awful shadow dance. You don't uphold important boundaries like payment schedules or rescheduling protocols. When your energetics are off, sometimes even your clients may get angry, and that's because the container is leaky. I'm not going to get into all the container stuff right now. It's important stuff. Or maybe clients decide that they don't want to continue. when your energetics are off, even if you're doing really good work, sometimes you worry a lot that your clients aren't happy or aren't satisfied, and that worry is exhausting. You lose time and energy to work on your business and just your life because so much of your energy is tied up in what's going wrong in client sessions, so on and so forth. So just take a moment and assess for yourself now. What are some of the ways that your lower level energetics are impacting your client work or helping you avoid attracting clients? What are some of the ways that they're impacting the client work? I really want to encourage you to I always work on my energetics, even to this day, even though I teach it, even though we go deeply, I train on it deeply in Sacred Depths and other programs. I am always working on my energetics. There's no such thing as arriving when it comes to energetics. It is a myth of arrival. You go through cycles of it, no matter how much inner work you've done. And it is you are the soul of your business. You are the soul of your business. And so when you're energetic, because your energetics are you, when they're in tip-top shape, your business is in tip-top shape. End of story. All right, I'll get off my soapbox on that one, but it's so important. So I hope that I've given you a lot to think about today, a lot of compelling action steps to work on. And maybe more than anything, I hope that I've given you renewed inspiration and excitement about being or becoming a coach or a transformational practitioner, and renewed excitement about your ability to grow your business with your coaching skills. For some of you, what I've shared today is going to be enough for now. And for others, I know that you are wanting more. I know that you desire some step-by-step instruction on how to become the best practitioner that you can be. That you desire to go way deeper in terms of your ability to support your clients and co-create incredible results with them. That you desire to possess the highest level of foundational and advanced skills to be used not only so that your clients feel that the money they spent on you is the best money that they've ever spent, but so that they re-sign and they send referrals, so that you feel an immense amount of satisfaction through doing the best work that you're meant to do with your clients. The satisfaction piece for me at the end of the day is the thing, right? So that you know that you're on the edge in your own work. I think of myself as a pioneer, and if you're on this call, you probably think of yourself as a pioneer too. That means that we always want to be on our edge, right? And so that your work is on the razor's edge of what's happening in your industry, so that you know that you're co-creating real transformation with your clients, so that you know that you're totally in integrity in your marketing promises, so that you can use these skills to make your marketing and sales calls more effective. All of this. So if you desire all of this, then with my open heart and my deep, deep, deep respect, I want to invite you to consider the Sacred Depths Coach Training. You will get all of this and truly so much more. In Sacred Depths, you get trained extensively on all of the skills that you need so that you have a full ninja toolbox that no other coaches in the industry have. You get trained extensively on human behavior so that you can adapt the skills in any coaching and any marketing situation. You do your own deep and transformative personal work. We do so much personal work so that your energetics soar, so that your confidence soars, so that your energy is clean. And on top of all of that, I include a full-length business and marketing training course as part of Sacred Depths. This is a lot that we do over the course of the training, but we do all of this in time-efficient ways. There isn't hours and hours and hours of homework, and we don't even meet every single week. Sacred Depths is for experienced practitioners who are already amazing at what they do, but recognize the importance of continuing on the journey of mastery, of getting better and better and better at what you do. It's also for new coaches, but for special new coaches, for new coaches who are looking at joining the industry and feeling like there's a lot of surface and fluffy fluff. It's for new coaches who know that they're ready for an accelerated learning environment where they can go deep. And the program is also for practitioners who aren't necessarily coaches, like massage therapists, nutritionists, acupuncturists, yoga teachers, anyone who recognizes the vital importance of being able to combine whatever your modality is with a deep knowing of how to walk your clients through fear and resistance, how to help hold them accountable, how to help them create deeper and deeper self-awareness. Sacred Depths is a game changer for your business, for the quality of your work, and for who you are on a personal level. Period. Full stop. I know that that's a really bold statement, and I can make such a bold statement with absolute confidence and integrity because of the amazing results that graduates of the program experience and because of the over-the-top raves and reviews that they give the program. Graduates tell me regularly that Sacred Depths is the best choice that they have ever made for their careers, hands down, and for their lives. They tell me that it's the best training they've ever taken and that it's the best money they've ever spent. There are 2 certification options in Sacred Depths. One that's fully comprehensive and online only. So if you don't want to travel, that's the first level. And then there's another level that also includes an in-person training on how to work with shadows and archetypes for yourself. We do deep personal work there and for your clients. Both options are comprehensive and amazing and powerful, and both have an early bird special rate, both of over $1,000 off for the next few days. So you can learn more about Sacred Depths and also download the full syllabus at joannalindenbaum.com/sacred-depths. And I'll put that into the chat in a moment too. I'm usually not so good with technology, but I'll do that. Now, if you want to have a conversation with me or a team member about Sacred Depths, please schedule one. And you can either schedule directly from that information page that I just gave you, joannalindenbaum.com/sacred-depths, or you can just email me directly at info@joannalindenbaum.com and we'll get you set up. If you feel like you'd like to have a conversation, don't be shy. This is my heartfelt invitation to you to schedule a conversation for yourself. Me and my team are not going to give you the hard sell. There's no strings attached. Instead, we're going to hold a really tight container and a sacred space in the conversation for you to dive deep into your deepest and truest desires for your business and for your client work. We'll hold the space for you to identify the areas that you're ready to strengthen. We'll look at what's been standing in your way. And then, only if it's appropriate, we'll look to see if Sacred Depths is right for you. So it would just be my pleasure, my absolute pleasure, to take what we've already done today and to continue to support you in standing up for yourself and the important work that you know you're meant to do in the world. For me, there's no greater privilege in my work than to hold space for and to bear witness to phenomenal practitioners becoming the absolute best that they can be, and to observe the ripple effects of that metamorphosis. If you are considering the program, please act over the next couple of days so that you can take advantage of the early bird. I'm so thrilled that you spent this time with me. I know that we're at time, but I do want to open up if there are any questions for me, if you want to share takeaways. I know that there are some graduates of the program on the call, if you want to share your experiences. Emily is asking, when does the program start? Emily, it starts October 22nd. So in a couple of weeks. And I know that the autumn can be really busy. If you've got a lot juggling in October and you feel like you can't start until a little later in November, sign up. You can catch up quite quickly. You really can, and many people do it. So what can I answer for you? What would you like to share? I'd love to hear, if you can hang on a few more minutes, what you've received from the call. If you're calling in, it's *9, and hopefully I'll see that you're raising your hand. Anything that I can answer for anyone, I'd love to hear. Let's see. Oh, Beth, thank you for sharing your experience. If you guys look in the chat, Beth, who is one of our amazing graduates, just talks a little bit about her experience in Sacred Depths. Beth, thank you. I so love you and appreciate you. You're amazing. And it's been amazing to watch you and all that's happened for you. Any other questions before we wrap for today? I'm here. I'd love to answer anything, not just about the program, but just any cues you have for me. No? All right. Then I will believe that we're complete for now. I really hope that you enjoyed this time and got a lot of value. I would love to hear from you. Please email, shoot me a Facebook message, post in the Facebook group, whatever it is. And we'll talk soon. Bye.